East commentator. She's with us in the studio to talk about this further. So there's obviously economic reasons why Francois Hollande wants to keep close ties with Algeria. In light of that, how sincere do you think his qualified apology was?
I think there is a certain amount of it's very genuine indeed. Let's not forget that when Hollande was elected the first secretary of the Socialist Party in 2006, even back then he was saying that it would be a priority for the French government to acknowledge the truth about what happened in Algeria, the truth of colonization and the truth about massacres. But he was of course restrained and indeed constrained by history itself. A lot of French people died during the conflict. Atrocities were committed by both sides, so a full and proper apology wouldn't have gone down well.
He didn't mince his words, though. Brutal, unjust, violence, massacre, torture. I mean, he's not hiding, in a sense. How do you think it went down in Algeria itself?
Well, the rhetoric was very powerful, and indeed there was a sense of real appreciation among the the Algerian establishment, who particularly welcomed those strong words. As you said, he went as far as recognizing the massacres of Sétif, Guelma and Karata, for example, even highlighting the fact that on the 8th of May 1945, when the world was triumphing over the barbarism of the Second World War, France was failing in its universal values because on the very same day, France was killing 45,000 Algerians. So the words were very strong and passionate. And Hollande has an affinity with Algeria. His first internship after he graduated from the School of Administration was in Algeria. And crucially, in October this year, he was the first French head of state to recognize the murder of more than 200 Algerians in France who were killed by the French police in pro-independence demonstrations.
So looking a bit more than the present-day situation, you are French-born but of Algerian heritage. I mean, what's the situation in France like now? And can you really go to Algeria and ask for closer ties if the French people of Algerian descent in France still, in a sense, aren't really treated like French citizens?
You're quite right to highlight this point. I think it's a crucial one. I think there will be no genuine, equal relationship if indeed President Hollande fails to acknowledge that the situation and indeed the condition
of the French situation like?
I'm very much an example of that, and there's a woeful underrepresentation of French Algerians in all walks of life, politics, the media, and any other profession, really. There's an awful lot of discrimination as well when it comes to opportunities in jobs, education, housing. So unless President Hollande introduces and implements very strong anti-discrimination laws, then you're bound to have more and more Algerians, or indeed French Algerians, going to Anglo-Saxon countries where there's a sense of equality.
Nabila Ramdani, thank you so much for sharing your views with us here. Thank you. I'll be back with more from Europe in just